What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and we're here with Trung, Pham, founder and CEO of RYSE. How are you doing today, Trung?
Good. How are you, man?
Awesome. Excited to be talking about this company, a really cool concept. So, start by giving us a quick introduction to RYSE and telling us more about the company.
Cool. So RYSE is a smart home IoT company, and we create a suite of devices that allow you to convert your window coverings, whether they're blinds or shades, into automated smart shades. And the genesis of the company was really simple. I wanted motorized shades. I already had window shades installed that you control with the beaded chains. And when I went to the same retailer I bought my shades from, they said there was no way to motorize or automate them, and I had to replace them with brand new motorized shades. And to me, that didn't make sense. I just envisioned a product that was a motor mounted on the window frame and acts like a pulley system to control the chains or cords. I actually presented that to them, and they said that product doesn't exist. Didn't believe them, went home, Googled it, sure enough, didn't exist. And that was kind of like the eureka moment. So that was back in 2015, actually. And we went on this journey where we did a lot of market research, and we determined that less than 8% of window shades are ever motorized because, one, the high cost. You're talking about $1,500, $2,000 per window. And two, my biggest problem was there's no retrofits. There's no products out there that would convert the shades you already had into automated ones. So because of these two factors, we really focus on tackling those two problems, making it affordable for the masses and just being able to create a suite of products that could convert any window coverings to smart automated window coverings. So that was back in 2015, spent a few years on R&D, developed a suite of products, launched in 2018 shipping, all online, by the way. So this is just e-commerce sales. And to date, we've generated over 6 million just e-commerce. And just in Q4 of last year, 2021, we launched our second gen device. And super exciting because the second gen was taking the learnings of the first gen, improving it dramatically, at least 10x, getting the cost lower, learning a lot from our customers. And this model is one that's going to be sold beyond e-commerce. It's going to be sold into the high volume retail channels, B2B and whatnot. So super excited about the second gen, as well as the other new products we're going to be launching by the end of this year.
Awesome. I think it's really cool how you guys, found a problem and pretty much solved it yourself. And here we have this interesting company. So you guys just received a 4 million Canadian clean tech grant. So congratulations on that. So how do how does smart shades save energy?
So interestingly enough, when we launched, we thought it was going to be a cool smart home consumer product because when we launched Alexa, Google Home, Nest, they were still taking off. But the more we spoke to our customers and people buying it, we learned that a lot of these B2B commercial buildings, hotels and whatnot, they wanted to buy it to control when the shades go up and down based on weather conditions or time of day. And their kind of use case is very simple. For example, in all glass commercial buildings, they wanted to lower their shades during evenings and weekends when tenants are not in the office. And the main reason is because if, for example, if say you're working from home or you're working remotely or you're not in the office on the weekends, if the shades are open, all that solar heat gain and the sunlight's coming in during the hot summer season, it's warming up a room, an empty room. But the HVAC, you can't turn off in a commercial building. It's not like a residential household. The HVAC always has to maintain a set temperature. So that HVAC is actually cooling an empty room, and that's wasted energy. So just by lowering the shades, you block that solar heat gain, you reduce the amount of solar heat gain, you reduce the amount of cooling required. So very simple concept, but there's a lot of white papers and case studies done this, and you just Google it. The New York Times building is a good example where, some of these buildings are able to save up to 20 to 24% in cooling loads alone. And even on the lighting side, if you're able to open shades during natural overcast weather, capture natural daylight, reduce indoor lighting, you save more on lighting electricity as well. So that's how we got our clean tech grant. We proposed a few pilots where we would develop our technology, automate the shades based on weather conditions, and really measure the energy savings of our technology. So we secured that back in 2018, 19, I believe, but it's a 3-4 year program. So we're still getting the grants throughout the years, and we're finally at the deployment stages of the pilot.
That's quite a unique technology. So can you comment on the growth potential into retail and business to business since your historical sales have been e-commerce only?
Yeah. So, when we did our market research, we really just want to learn from our customers with the first gen. And if you read other smart home products out there like Nest and whatnot, They didn't even get to retail until their Gen 3. So we're about to get there with our Gen 2. And online only accounts for about 7% of industry revenues. Retail is actually 33%. So 33% of smart home products are sold in retail, like Best Buy, Home Depot, and things like that. But the large and lucrative market is definitely B2B. So these large wholesale partnerships and sales to hotels, multifamily landlords in the States, real estate developers, senior housing and nursing homes, big market because you're serving the elderly and those requiring assisted living with their technology. So a lot of different buildings and properties that could benefit from our technology. Not just like when you're talking about other players in smart home space, they're really just residential or they're really just like one product in one household. There are a lot of windows out there. So we know that the market potential is huge. And we've already proven that with selling, $6 million in just 7% of the sales distribution channels.
So can you highlight some of the business to business projects you have already completed?
Yeah, so we've done a few with some of the largest developers in the States. Related is the largest US privately held developer, I believe. We did a project for them in San Francisco. And that was called the Avery. That was more for ADA compliance, so American with Disabilities Act compliance, where a set number of units had to have motorized shades to service this type of audience and clientele. So that was a big project for us. We completed a project earlier this year with Presidio Bay. They're a luxury developer based in California as well. And we have some ongoing pilots and projects with some office spaces and co-working space in Toronto. Workplace One is a big one in Toronto. Bateman McKay is an accounting firm that owns their entire building. Quadreal is another large real estate developer. I believe over $60 billion in assets under management. And we're doing one of their office spaces in one of their buildings downtown Toronto as well. So a lot of B2B deals in the pipeline. More to come. Once we close them, we'll definitely be making those announcements and press releases. But that's the direction we really want to go to with these B2B deals.
Yeah, those sound like some very unique projects. So now this is a very competitive industry. The company has patents with Amazon court judgment that prevents the sales of knockoffs. How did you achieve this?
Yeah, so we filed for 8 patents, 5 have been granted, and it's kind of like the whole Eureka thing where you didn't think this product wasn't already in the market. So because we invented the concept, we filed for the patents. Amazon has been really, really progressive in protecting IP, trademarks, copycats, knockoffs, all that kind of stuff. And we took a few knockoffs and we filed a complaint on Amazon. We won those judgments. And now anytime there's a copycat that pops up, because when you launch a consumer electronic product, there's always going to be a copycat. But having the patents gives you that defensibility to prevent the sales of those knockoffs on these high volume channels, like the Amazons, like the Best Buys, like the Home Depots. And that's what we secured with our patents. It's an Amazon Court Judgment Award. And basically, anytime there's a knockoff, we go on Amazon, we file a complaint, we list the listing page, and Amazon kicks them off within 24 hours.
No, that's great protection to have because, like you said, there's so many copycats. Going on Amazon, you see one product and there's 10 other manufacturers.
Yeah.
You never know who created it, but in your case, that's not a problem. So there have been a lot of similar exits in your space. Amazon buying Ring and recently iRobot for billions, Google buying Nest. What does this mean for the company?
So those are very interesting, I would say, industry events and consolidations, a lot of M&A activities, both in the smart home space as well as the window covering space. On the window covering side, Spring Window Fashion is the second largest window blinds company in the world. Went through a series of private equity owners. Hunter Douglas, which was previously publicly traded, also got acquired by private equity firm 3G, actually, that owns, I believe, Heinz Ketchups and a few other, Anheuser-Busch and a few other large companies out there. And I believe that was at an $8 billion enterprise value. But when you talk about Ring, Nest, August Lock, iRobot, all these companies are very, very known brand names in the smart home space. Big tech's buying them up. Amazon, again, you mentioned bought Ring over $1 billion, iRobot for 1.7 billion, Google bought Nest for 3.2 billion, Dropcam for 550 million. Ecobee, the other smart thermostat player, was acquired earlier this year for, I believe, 800 million. So a lot of industry consolidation. And what we find interesting and advantageous to us is not only is an IPO a potential, an acquisition is also a potential now, where we see big tech consolidating the space and buying up other startups in the space, really to consolidate position and add to their portfolio. So that's why we like the idea of an acquisition alongside an IPO as a potential exit.
Yeah, we see a ton of consolidation right now in the market, and it totally makes sense. So hopefully that adds more value for you guys. So where should investors go for more information on the company? This is the most important part.
Yeah, visit us at invest.hellorise.com. It is a live Regulation A+ raise, which means anybody in the world can invest, both accredited and retail. It's essentially a pre-IPO private market offering.
Great, Trung. Well, I love hearing stories like yourself, young entrepreneurs solving problems in the world and especially doing good. So thank you for all the information. Best of luck, and I look forward to having you back on.
Thanks for having me.
If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.